Battle control initialized.
Hey there, everybody. It's me, Hod. Um, I'm a bit well. I'm not really fully back into the game, into the casting series. I'm thinking of naming my cast at sit as sitcom, so like or sit rep rather, situation report, so that I could just add in like sit rep number one, number two, number three, number four. So yeah, just to be efficient. Anyway, so again, I'm not 100% back. I have not played a singular combined arms ever since I went to a hiatus. So these casts, like maybe I might plan to have like a few and far in between cast, like when I feel like it or when the opportunity does arise, and like I'm not bogged down by the schedule, something like that. So we have here a 2v2 from the Chinese community, if I'm not wrong. We have at the top right, we have team led by our man in the CN, who's very known to like a lot of players. We have Stromberg. Paired with him is a nod player. I'm not gonna check right now if they all randomed or if they selected, but we have here Tengun as Blackhand, and at the bottom left we have Apple. I've not seen Apple before. Perhaps that's one of the viewers of Hans, like whenever he live streams cast or games. So we have Hans and Apple versus Stromberg and Tengun. Let's check if both of them random. So team one, Stromberg and Tengun, random any, and we have Hans randoming Legion. So both teams should know what faction the other players are. So we saw a tight fight here earlier. It does appear like team. What team is this? Team two, yeah. No, this is team one and then team two. Team one managed to secure a bit the fight here, sending troops over here. If I'm not wrong with what I saw, it does appear like Hans will be losing out a couple of the rifles right there. However, it does appear the Stromberg will be losing out the entire battalion right there. No, this is not really a battalion. It's just a squad. A one blob of warriors. Give me a moment. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah. So anyway, we see here Tengun deploying, going straight to the first expansion. Well, basically it's only expansion. It does appear. So this map is called Desert Sun. It's not like the usual like the basic combined arms map you see, right? Like it's not like everyone here will get an equal amount of Tiberium, and then they deploy to whatever direction they're spawned as. Let's say we have here Apple and Tengun. They're supposed to be going through these directions, but that's pretty much it as far as their expansion is concerned. Whereas the guys on the sides, which is Hans and Stromberg, they can go like way far, right? So in maps like this, it's usually in the beginning where you have to divide up everything. So from my experience playing this map, if I'm not wrong, the guy with the least expansion should take like 6 trees. How many is this? One, two, three, four, five, six. Yeah, 6 trees. So that they have 9. Whereas the other guy on the sides is going to be expanding outward will have 3, and then there's a blue tip in the back. Blue tip, I'm not 100% sure how much value it gives. It's like 1.5, I guess, 1.5 or 2, like worth of a blossom tree. I think 2. I might be wrong. Like one hole, right? One hole is equivalent to 2 holes. One hole of blue tip is equivalent to 2, something like that. Anyway, 3. So let's say this is 2. 5 here so far. 7, 8, 9, 10. So more or less, the guy here will have slight advantage compared to the other guy or their teammate as far as trees are concerned. So in situations like this, you have to be very careful. I've seen team games screwed up a lot of times because they didn't they didn't balance out the money. So what happens is, whoever's on the front of the base, they usually get overwhelmed because they got outproduced. They don't have eco. That's it. They don't have eco. So let's skip out a little bit. You see here Apple scouting, and then we see some light tanks moving in over here, harassing the shit out of the harvesters, and thus forcing a redirection of the harvesters. However, it does appear there's like a lot of troops right here by Apple ready to defend the harvester. So they're not 100% worried about that one. But let's see. Do they see? Yeah. They don't have information yet. So right now, Tengun is having like he's thinking, right? He's thinking, okay, I've already expanded here. My MCV's over here. Surely, Apple already has expanded here as well. Like, if you're on the level where you are very good, and then you would expect more or less the same from your opponent. It's right there. That's a respect scout right there. So right now, Tengun spotted Apple's expansion, and of course, we see Apple right here seeing. I'm wait. I think my hotkeys is no, never mind. I was pressing the wrong thing. Never mind. I was too used to casting 1v1, so I was pressing the wrong thing. Anyway, so we see here Tengun harassing the MCV, prompting a reaction by Apple. But it does appear Hans and Apple will be just, they will be okay. They don't have to worry about this harassment. And a harvester, a refiner has been deployed right there. It does appear right here, Stromberg just placed a singular refinery. And it does appear for here, Hans is staying on this blue tip expansion and then placing a radar. He's like going radar tech because he feels like if he's gonna undeploy, go here, the distance time, the travel time between point A to point B is too much for you to trade of not having a radar. So currently, Team 2 is ahead in terms of technology. Does appear, I forgot to put it here to production. However, it does appear that Hans understands the assignment, sends in 2 APCs. If I'm not wrong, that's 2 APCs worth of flamethrower. Let's see if he's able to destroy the refinery. However, there's 2 plasma cannons over there. I think, yeah, Hans is paying attention right there. It does seem like he won't be harassing that one. He needs to go over here, try to look for a good target. So far, they don't see it. Stromberg is reacting to that one. And right now, it does appear one of the refineries will be destroyed, prompting all of the harvesters from this area to go over here to harvest. That's a pretty good play so far. I do believe, yeah, he goes low power for that one. Good play so far by Hans. Even though he spent a lot for that one. However, because of the action Hans did there, they managed to bring a lot of the troops to try and defend the base. That gives an opportunity for Apple to attack and pressure into Tengun's expansion. However, it does appear like 2 plasma cannons are a bit too much. However, I feel like Stromberg is not gonna be worried about this one. And right here, in the meantime, we see Tengun also sending in a diversionary force trying to attack, expeditionary force, I guess, trying to attack here on Hans. A lot of light tanks right there. However, they'll be losing out. They don't have any anti-building damage. They don't have rockets. And I believe all of this forces by Tengun will be gone. Does appear Hans, in the meantime, while having that diversion casted upon themselves upon here and some of the stuff right here, he managed to secure 3 stealth tanks and are pretty much prepared to go around, wreak some havocs. However, I do see a lot of turrets being prepared here by Stromberg. I'm not 100% sure if there's gonna be anything that he'll be doing here, like in terms of damage. But if I'm going to guess, the best thing that Hans could do here is try to I'm not gonna select it first in case he queued it, but like go here and then try to poke out the remaining over here because I believe they have information about those. Okay, not a lot of this in this section, but it's good enough, right? Because they had an APC going over here and then they saw there's no defensive turrets over there. Okay, so Hans is still staying there for a while. But we'll be back about that one when I see some movements. Yeah, Hans is staying back. Does appear Hans will be having 5 stealth tanks to do the raid. And Apple is now ordered by Commander Hans to fall back and wait for my signal. Does appear both. Oh no, why are they forward? Why are they forward? Why is the Ravagers in front? No, not like this. Anyway, so we see here a lot of troops. It doesn't appear like Hans is preparing anything for this onslaught, an upcoming onslaught for the both, for this side over here. But it does appear that all of the 5 stealth tanks above are now moving out. Will the plasma cannons, will the turrets, will every defensive structure here be able to hold out until they manage to destroy a lot of stuff right here? But we will see. But right now, the Stormcaller has been called out, placing in front. Oh no, it does appear like Stromberg and Tengun has a lot of damage. Here, stealth tanks are picking off harvesters one by one, and I hear a commando coming out. It's over here by Hans. However, I don't think they'll be having a lot of problem over there. Hans don't need a commando to wipe out everything. He has 4 howitzers. That's like enough. And there's no more vehicle here to tank the damage, so I don't think there's gonna be a problem for them. Here, yeah, just like that one, just like I said, Hans will be using the stealth tank to deal a lot of damage. However, he does not see that over there. He does see it, but so they somehow outrage. They somehow outrage it. Oh my god! But this airstrip right here will be gone, proving. Okay, you had me worried there for a moment. So that airstrip right there is gone. Only one stealth tank will be able to escape this one relatively. Never mind. Interesting. Okay. So with that airstrip down right there, instead of having 3 vehicle productions for Tengun, it is now down to 2 once more. Good play so far. I'd say it's good play so far because this map is a high eco map. Like, see this Tengun was like, okay, I have a lot of money, so what do I need? I need to make another production structure, which he chose to be a vehicle one. And right now he will still float for the next few minutes because of that attack on the airstrip right there in the back. So far, it does appear. I'd say everything's stable so far because there's like a lot of defensive turrets right here. No one's gonna fully commit until like they got things done. Anyway, let's see the upgrades. Let's see what every player chose. So we see Stromberg going for Rebel as evidence right here. Colony ship moving from point A to point B, and then building structures. In the meantime, we have Tengun not yet getting a covenant. Yeah, I think it's because he hasn't destroyed enough buildings. Or in the attempt here to attack the harvesters. Apple went for Loyalist, and Hans, because of the attacks he did here earlier, is now able to get the Covenant, and he went for Wrath. So I think we're going to be seeing avatars for this game. Let's see how things goes out, folks. Stromberg is preparing to deploy a power plant. Okay. I would have imagined it's like a refinery. But everything's good because if you're a rebel, you can always build on the move. So anyway, we see here they're being defensive right here. Apple has 6 Stormcrawlers, and they're gonna move out. Here, they don't have any tanky infantry for Hans. No, Hans! Ooh. Yeah, thank you. It does appear like both of them will be disengaging. It does appear like Hans will be disengaging because he got jumped by the troops right there. But it does appear Apple is moving in to try to provide assistance to Hans. providing the tanky Stormcrawler, but it does appear Stromberg is pulling out after seeing like there's a lot of troops, there's a lot of defenses right there. Right now, Ravagers are unfortunately queued to attack like alongside with everything. So this this little sneak attack is exposed. They've been made. Anyway, we do see Stromberg pulling out the Obliterator because he felt like there's like a lot of infantry slash light armor targets. So Obliterator may be a good vehicle for the game. Like he played with Hans like quite some time already. Like I'm guessing he knows him well to the point where he doesn't need to see or he doesn't need to guess that Hans will not be making um heavy units. But he hasn't went for Cyborg yet. No, oh, never mind. He has Cyborg already. So right here we see an attack by Tengun trying to push in, try to make something happen in the midst of all the monotony that's been happening. One harvester down, two harvester down, but it does appear all of the troops right here will be going on a suicide mission. They will not be coming back after this push because they've been quarantined over here. A force shield has been deployed by Hans. However, the heavy flame tank are just doing an attack. My god. So they managed to destroy the tier 3 structure right there. So there won't be any force shield that's going to happen. Effectively, this singular attack by Tengun made Apple go back to tier 2. And another fight right here is coming up. Again, no heavy tank, so all of the infantry right here is dead. More impalers are gonna go down by the commando, but it does appear they will be killing the commando as well. It doesn't matter. The commando did not have any sort of infantry or vehicle to tank or to take the aggro. It does appear right here Hans is out of power. With the cyborg right there, cyber production being available, or the access to the cyber production is available, he needs to supply himself with power. Because this building and this building are not, you can't low power them. That's it. What is going on? This guy is making only Stormcrawlers. They are very, very slow, my good friend. Making Stormcrawlers and Ruiners. Interesting choice, interesting choice. No, the Ruiners are not anti-tank, no. So he's making intruders to deal with the heavy armor. Does appear he has a tripod over here. Interesting. So right now we are seeing Black Hand Trooper in front, and as well as the heavy flame tank. It does appear there will be a couple units that will be destroyed. There's one and perhaps two. Overall, they're just poking the bear right there. Maybe poking the cat, I guess, because not much happened over there. So let's take a time. Let's have a pause right here. Let's see the money. We see Stromberg with 7k and 9 harvesters, whereas we have Tengun with 5. It's 5 because he lost all of the structures over here. So if anything, he needs to undeploy, go back here, and then reestablish the harvesting operations. Because as I said, the guy that spawned in front will be taking 6 Tiberium trees, blossom trees. Whereas we see Apple running out of money. Let's see how many he has. He only has 4 harvesters. How many? Yeah, he is just making 2 production at this moment. I do think it's gonna be a little bit hard for them to come back from this one, but let's see how it goes. Because combined arms, anything can happen. Like it could win in the first part, and then the second half he just for some reason just fumble. And Hans has 8 harvesters. That's not really a good indication, because in comparison to Stromberg, he has 9. Stromberg has controlled all of his supposed trees or expansions, whereas we see Hans here having 8 harvesters, but he lost this one and he has not taken his spot over here. So far we see Team 1 ahead of the game. And we have Tengun's tank here pulling back from the attack over here. However, it does appear like Apple is gonna be placing them a little bit forward. It's a little bit conscious about the lack of information over here. And we see a bombing run over here made by Tengun on top of troops over here. If anything, they could destroy this. Low power, maybe that's the intention right there. Not fully into it. Could have used it for something else, but it does appear like Hans will be out of power right here. With the attack from the heavy flame tanks, it does appear both players are now gonna be going in onto Hans, and he loses out his MC from the obliterator. You had me right there. So it does appear they have to commit right now. Apple has to attack onto this side over here. A lot of Stormcrawlers are moving in. They're crawling in. The storms are crawling, and it does appear Commando dealing some damage, but dies unfortunately to the enemy over there, the screen. However, a lot of Stormcrawlers are doing everything that they can. So right now, they deal a fuck ton of damage to the vehicles because there's like way too much for the vehicles to tank. Even though they don't have the best damage against vehicles, they're alright, you know. And mind you, they're the tankiest tier 2 vehicle in the game. So take that into consideration. So right now, I'd say Tengun is out of the game unless if he undeploys the construction yard in time. I don't think he does. There we go. And they're on the. He's on the run. He's on the run. So everything right here by Tengun is destroyed. Basically sending Tengun to the Stone Age. And right now they have to deal with the problem over here. It does seem like a cluster missile has been launched on this spot, but it will be missed. Like, it only killed one thing over there, but it's not enough. Apple fully committing to the damage, trying to penetrate through the entire defense right there by Stromberg. However, I think it's gonna be a little bit of a GG. Perhaps. I don't see anything being produced over here. Apple has how many things do you have? How many things do you have? Do you have any? It doesn't. This portal's not making anything. You have 10k. You could build something else, and you have 3 warp sphere. Hans, on the other hand, what's being produced right now? He's making 2 MCVs. Okay, run, Hans. I believe you guys could still win. Either team could win this game right now. But it does appear that the MCV has been spotted by Stromberg, and right now Stromberg feels compelled to pull back, try to place all of his troops right here, try to stabilize the situation. Right now we do see, where is this one? So we see Tengun right now is just running around trying to look for a good position for him, and right now Stromberg is thinking, hey, you can take this, take that refinery. With the 21 death ball against buildings running over their base over here, it does seem like there's nothing else to be left. And because of that, Apple managed to divert. If there's anything Apple thinks that should be happening right now, because of the lack of information right here, the lack of any sort of movement, he should know by now that the troops that was here is now coming back to defend. He does still commit to it. I think he'll be losing out. More damage would have been done if he went for this one. But anyway, going back here. Excuse me. You see howitzers on the move, destroying this one singular refinery by Stromberg. Yeah, as I said, the way you could have dealt more damage is going above. Anyway, it does appear a lot of ruiners been made. Oh boy, this will be a lot of balls in this game. Pew pew pew, and the lack of anti-air by Team 1, they will be on a disadvantage against the ruiners. If Apple is able to coordinate the ruiners and the tormentors, they should be able to win this. PAC. Yeah, you need PAC. As I said, the lack of anti-air is astounding. They could win if like I know Stromberg's a good player, right? If they, oh my god, like Stromberg's a good player. If he doesn't adapt to that one, like there's any sort of aircraft presence over there, they'll be losing out. And just like this one, Ruiners are attacking. And right now, Stromberg is deploying right there, trying to take back the main base. And as I said, Ruiners, like, they can attack on the move. Oh, that's a lot of balls, my good friend. Any anti-air so far? We have Gunwalker over here. Nothing else. Is he making PACs right now? Apple is making PACs, and Hans is trying to recover everything. So right now, Apple is carrying the shit out of Hans. Ooh. I haven't learned Chinese yet. That's gonna be a necessary thing here in the Philippines. Just joking on that one. We're gonna be like a province of China or something. Just like how the Philippines used to be a province of USA years before. Or as people jokingly said. Anyway, I think it's something to do like we need to counter the Ruiners. Again, with the presence of the aircraft right here, they really need to deal with it. Oh my god, they went down from the Ruiner damage. However, the Ruiners really need to run right now. And here comes the PACs. PACs are online. Ooh, there's only one more Gunwalker. And we see Butter Swarm being placed on the back. Commando, no, the assassin is being blinded. Everything else is being blinded. However, right here, PACs has no anti-air harassment onto it. The rocket soldiers will be dead the moment they go in. PACs are winning the fight. PACs are over there. And how the hell did I not see this? Hans did something, and he managed to, I think he went around and sneak onto the base. PACs won the fight over here. Just the fact that there's singular PACs and no anti-air capability, they have won this big fight over here. They're pretty much, the game is now shifting from Team 1's advantage to Team 2. Right now, Apple is heading forward, pressing on, and that tank right there is dead. It disappeared. The Obliterator right here will be dead also. Oh, a meteor is being called. Right now, there's no more harassment here from Stromberg, and boom, nuke in 40 seconds. Is that what he's saying? Nuke in 40 seconds? Yeah, they have. Oh my God, everything's going good. Everything's going well for Hans. He's calling for back. I don't know where he's gonna be. Is he gonna be sending it? Over here? Perhaps sending it over here, destroying the construction yard. Is that what he's gonna be doing? Oh no! Pull back, Apple! Not like this! Not like this! Get back! There's three Gunwalkers trying to shoot down your PCs! Get back! And we have the tripods trying to... Oh, flicker call, thank you. They're now alive. The nuke will be coming in shortly, somewhere. The question whether if Hans is gonna destroy some structures or he's gonna be wiping out... try to wipe out the infantry and the ground targets. Let's see. It is ready right now. It's just waiting. Oh, there. He's sending it over there. So right now, Stromberg and Tengun are trying to run away because they don't know where the nuke is going to be heading down. And right now, they should be able to guess that it's going to be coming over here. I do feel like it may have been a missed opportunity. It's a bit anticlimactic. But anyway, we see here Stromberg already reestablishing the lost bases. The bases that they lost, the lost frontier. Currently, the no man's land is now shifted to here. From over here, place it over here, and we are seeing two Gunwalkers. Like a lot of Gunwalkers shooting down the PACs. And however, Hans is placing forward. Hans, you're on TV. Oh, it's an offensive play. Okay, never mind. I was worried for nothing. Whew. Okay. gun walkers are being made right now. They should be able to adapt. Okay, there's like a lot of gun walkers right now. We should be able to make heavy vehicles and try to deal with this problem right here. Like the PACs right there. I think you stop making it. That's what I feel about it. Oh no, Banshees are up. Banshees are up. Banshees are going to destroy the tripods. However, it does appear like two Banshees right there from Tengun are going down. However, Tengun is on a tight leash. He needs to make a refinery somewhere. Go here. Like, take this. Maybe go here somewhere. You have Stromberg already positioned himself to the spot. You can just place it there. Right now, you only have these two harvesters. They are harvesting for dear life. They're doing everything they can in order to supply everything that you need, Tengun. You definitely need another refinery. However, it does appear like it's not going to be the thing that he's going to be doing because he's making another Temple Prime. Currently, it's only Stromberg that's been pumping out a lot of troops in order to sustain the front lines. If they're thinking right now, they should be able to push over here, try to deal some damage. One PAC down because of the Gunwalker. Yep, Viper is a good pick right there. And another Banshee down. That's like the third Banshee I've seen going down this moment. Again, Stromberg is doing everything that he can because he saw Tengun not having a refinery. So all of the economy is going into his pocket. So he needs to be responsible and make the best out of the resources that he has. So right now, right. I'm just imagining it. You can take this, right? Just harvest that. Yeah. Just make a refinery over there, then you'd be very efficient. However, right now we have 4 tripods. We have 3 tripods. One tripod is going. Never mind. We have 4 tripods right here, and PACs in front. Again, this is what I mean. There's like a lot of gun walkers, so you can just make heavy tanks and deal with them. And that's the problem the gun walkers are experiencing right now with the appearance of the tripod. Hans is just base crawling right now. He's being ballsy. Like, they have defensive structures. They're not worried. You know, they're not worried. Right now, another PAC is down again. We see 4 obliterators by Stromberg. It does appear like if he has the vision on the MCV, he should be able to snipe it. But unfortunately, he does not see it. Right now, he's just very nice. Oh wow. The MCV died because of the collateral damage. It was not even the primary target. I was just waiting for it to happen. I saw it. I saw the line drawing from the obliterator to the tank. Damn. That was really unfortunate for Hans, but however, because of the building right there, the MCV is gone. Holy crap, Hans, you have a lot of structures producing. So Hans right now is pinging. Okay, I'm gonna go here. That's it. Nothing else for you to know. Anyway, we see here Apple pushing in with the PACs. PACs don't have the best damage against buildings, but they're serviceable enough, if you could understand what I mean. So anyway, we see here PACs. It does appear like because of the PACs right here, they would have to send troops because they don't know if there's like a lot of troops right there, right? They could be pushing in anytime soon. However, with the appearance of like a lot of attacking over here, it does feel like they are now being pressed into a dilemma. Which side should we defend? Should we defend here or should we defend here? I forgot how it's called in chess. It's called it's the move where you're forced to make a very bad move, something like that. But anyway, Zeuswag, perhaps. I don't know. I just watch Levy from time to time, and we do see Hans going forward with the attack right here, undoing everything Stromberg has done for the past 10 minutes, I'd say. Both sides here. We see here Apple pushing in on the left, and we have Hans also pushing in on the right. Again, folks, it does appear that the wind is blowing from Team 1 to Team 2. Team 2's lead. And right now, Commando's dead. Yeah, like considerable damage over there. And it does appear Hans has managed to take back the expansion over here, he does not have to worry about it anymore. But it does feel like because of Apple constantly making PACs, they are actually forced to make gunwalkers. Like you cannot not make gunwalkers. That's it. You don't want to engage in a fight where you don't have anything to fight against the gunwalkers. So far, excuse me, give me time to recover. Okay, so far it does appear um, Team Two, excuse me, Team Two is winning. That's a waste of Overlord's Wrath. And once again, one of the good things you could do here is try to poke over on this area. I wonder if they could think about it. Anyway, Reapers are just going in, hamming all of troops, and with the lack of anything else here, the gunwalkers are forced to come back because they will get one shot by the microwave tank. With the microwave tanks right there, they should be able to kill off anything in a heartbeat, just like that one. And a GG's win called. Great game, just like how I imagined. Chinese Chinese community pulling out their fights right there. Pretty good, pretty good. I like it overall. I'd say it's a good match to cast, even if you're just watching it, right? Like just like how I'm doing right now. Like you open up the game and then try to analyze it on your own. Yeah, it's a good match. It's a great match. So a little bit of a overview of what happened. Let's disable shroud. So both players had relatively good timing taking the only expansion, and I think Stromberg got ahead of this expansion right here, whereas Han stayed a little bit behind. Like he didn't go straight for the expansion, right? Like he stayed around here, and in that time he slowly queued up, teched up rather, increased the technology. One of which that I mean you could see it happen was the missile silo, but unfortunately it didn't pretty it didn't do much right there. It's like a cluster missile that missed. The only difference is you gotta wait for 9 minutes for that one. Anyway, it could have been dealt somewhere else, but anyway, yeah, great game so far. From what I can tell, I don't think I have anything else. I'm not gonna waste your time trying to listen to me yap about it because the entire meat of the replay is over. So if you wanna watch it again, you can just go back minutes in this video. No worries. So update for me. Um, I'm not like okay. So for some of you who are keeping up to date to like interacting with me in Discord and perhaps in one of my posts, I'm not part of the tournament as of this recording right now. The tournament is ongoing, so if the replays become like public and I find the ones that are pretty interesting, like similar to this one, I'll try to cast them. Yeah, I'll try to cast them. Don't expect me to be like as active as before, So my schedule's changed, and it's a little bit too hectic to try to squeeze in. So like I'm not even actively playing CA anymore. So you may see me upload cast sit reps from time to time. Sitcom. I think it's sit rep, right? Situation report. Yeah, I would upload sit reps from time to time, but don't count on it like to be a regular thing. So yeah, that's all for this one, and see you on the next one.
Battle control terminated.